my gosh. Whoop. Guys. Oh, I think you can almost get that other mic on there. I don't know. But, guys, welcome back. It is now, it's that time again. It is but another episode of Art of the Jam. I believe this is episode number 119. I do have some bad news, I think. Not I think. Actually, I'm very, very sure that we have some bad news. We did not reach our goal of 333 subscribers by the end of the year, but guess what? It's a whole other year, and we can get there. We have a whole year to get to 333 subscribers, and hopefully, since we have a whole 365 more days to get to 333 subscribers, maybe we can surpass 333, maybe 666, maybe 999, maybe testing out the new mic. 1 million subscribers. Nah, maybe not. But guys, I hope you love the fire alarm or the smoke alarm battery in the background that keeps going off, and I am already filming, and I just do not want to get up right now and put a new battery in it or anything like that. So you're gonna have to deal with it. So periodically you'll hear the little beep, and so that's what that is. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But let me flip my hourglass here, guys. It is a new year, so happy 2026. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, whether it was Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, whatever holiday, I guess, that you would celebrate in your culture or whatnot or what have you. I hope you guys had a wonderful new year. I hope you're full of just good spirits, and you spent your first day of the new year setting a positive precedent for the coming year. I hope everyone does well this year and gets exactly what they want to accomplish done. But guys, I had a kind of a silly question. As the tradition goes for the show of Art of the Jam, I do have a question for you, audience. And today's question is kind of not a silly, I wouldn't consider it a silly one, but I was watching a show, and say you have somebody like Will Ferrell scream get really angry and scream some profanities, or it's your dad, for instance. There's a big difference between a comedic actor screaming in anger or your dad or somebody that's legitimately angry. So my question, because I was very curious, and I would like your opinion on it. So my question today, in tradition of Art of the Jam, my question for you guys today, audience, is when it comes to the anger of others, what is the deciding factor as to whether it makes you laugh or is genuinely intimidating? Let me repeat. When it comes to the anger of other people, what is the deciding factor as to whether it makes you laugh or is genuinely intimidating? I hope you understand this question. And cue the intro. Ow. Well, guys, guess what? We are back from the intro, and it's kind of a weird question, just because, like I said, it's like you see somebody like scream profanities like Will Ferrell or John C. Riley or a you know really any kind of comedic actor scream profanities. It's funny, but if you see somebody that's like genuinely, um, I mean, see, that's the thing. It's just like, are they? They could. I've still had people in real life that are actually genuinely angry, but they'll scream in a certain way that's comical. And so I don't really quite understand what the difference is between a- types of anger. I mean, it's all anger, I guess, but it was very difficult to come up with this question because, in my opinion, it's not like what it's hard to describe because what makes I don't want to know what makes something funny when somebody's angry, and I don't want to know what makes anger intimidating. I want to know what's the deciding factor. What in that whole bit of anger, what in that whole slew of emotion, what's funny about? What you could put two people, like I said, you could put two people beside each other and they could both scream the same thing, but somebody else, I don't know, I guess it just kind of like varies from person to person or the circumstances, like, it could be, if you know somebody, like I have friends that it's like they'll scream stuff at each other. Like I have two friends that are siblings, and it is the funniest thing in the world for them to scream and fight at each other, like just things where they're just like like I will stab you in the neck with a knife, and it's just like sibling rivalry when you know them is hilarious, especially because they're siblings and they're not. They actually might fight, which is it's kind of a little treat. It's like because odds are it's like you're not going to see two people hash it out. For Christmas, I got a mocha pot espresso, poor man espresso maker. So I'm enjoying the old fruit of the beans. I don't know what that means, but I'm enjoying it. And it's nice. But two people that are super angry at each other, like siblings, when they scream at each other in anger, it's so funny. It's like oh man, I don't even know. I can't even think of what they like. She actually said that I will stab you in the neck with a knife. Oh yeah, yeah. He's like, I'll stab you in the neck with a knife. And then her brother was like, no, you won't, because you never do shit. And it's funny. I don't know if you'd have to be there to think it's funny, but I think it's funny. And just the phrases themselves are just golden. They're just golden. That's all I have to say. But what something about because something that makes me angry though. Let's do this hard segue here. Something that makes me angry is, I don't know if you guys are aware, but something that makes me angry, the misprint market. I don't know what it is about things that people enjoy about misprints and mistakes when it comes to products. Like, let me tell you. I mean, the whole point of Jam and the show is the magic is in the mistakes. But I feel like there's a fine line between like a product that I don't consider, like, say I went to a Heartland Antique Mall in Lebanon, Missouri. I probably shouldn't have said the name of the place, but it's already happened, and I'm not going back to bleep it out. So I went there, and there was a like $250 AC/DC live album that was only expensive because the year that it was made, what was it? Yeah, it was like songs from one year to another. It was a period of time, but it was actually, it said on the label, it was like, this was actually recorded in 75, not 77. And it was printed on there 1977. And it's like, why? What adds zeros to a fucking product that's wrong. It's like I just don't understand people's mentality whenever it comes to their preference and collectibles. It's like somebody's like, "Hey, I have this brand new vinyl in perfect condition." It's like, "No, thank you. I would prefer my stuff wrong. I would prefer my stuff made by the guy that decided to come to work drunk that day. I would prefer my stuff made by the broken machine. I would I don't know, the dude that didn't get the memo. That's what I want. I want the stuff made by dumbasses. I want the stuff made by dumb shits. It could be an honest mistake. Let's be real. I'm not saying that everybody that is a dumbass or a dumb shit that you know misprints or something or whatever. I knew a buddy in high school that he loved this Dean guitar because the guitar's logo, where like it says like Fender on the headstock or the brand of the instrument on the headstock. Well, it was actually printed onto the headstock of the instrument upside down, and it added like hundreds of dollars more to the value of it, and he could have resold it. He could have resold it for $1,000 more than he bought it for, and it's like, what makes that so sought after? It's like because the product is the same. It's not like the guitar probably sounds any different. It's not like the album sounds any different. It's the same fucking thing. It's just you're getting a thing that even if you get like a vinyl record that's actually printed how it's supposed to be made or how it's supposed to look, and they only made like 300 of them. It's like there's people out there that are like, I would much prefer the one that has a misprinted label on it than a one of 300. I guess you could go as far as to say that the misprint, there's probably less out there than like a limited run of things in intentional condition, I guess. But it's just something that kind of not irked me. It doesn't make me angry. It's just I don't understand why that's a thing. Why the misprint market is a thing that people indulge in. I mean, it'd be like I said, it'd be a whole other thing if it sounded different or operated differently. But no, it's just purely an aesthetic mistake, and I guess it really, not to be. It depends, I guess, on the thing. It depends on the thing. I don't know. I just think it's funny that it's like, no, yes, I prefer my things wrong. That's it. I prefer my things mistaken. Presentable. Is that a word? I made it up and it's a word now. So, anyways, guys. But, I do enjoy, though, as far as our question for today goes, I do enjoy giving a good laugh, maybe not at the expense of my own anger, nor do I dig really being legitimately angry or intimidating, even if I even could be intimidating. I'm not sure. I don't know how other people perceive me or how many people have actually seen me angry or upset, but that's beside the point. I just what I'm trying to say, I enjoy making people laugh. Maybe not when I'm angry, maybe nor do I like being legitimately angry, but when I am angry, such as about the misprint market, about the stupid fucking misprinted AC/DC album at Heartland Antique Mall in Lebanon, Missouri, you know where you are, and you know what you have in that one booth in the front and the glass thing. I just double down on where the location is. Anyways, what I'm getting at is, when I am angry, there is nothing more soothing I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Nothing soothes the blues like sitting where you shouldn't. Okay? What I mean by that is where nothing makes me more relieved of my anger than sitting on the kitchen floor. I hope that does that make any sense to anybody? Does anybody ever just fucking plop their ass right on the floor of the kitchen and just fucking or have that bathroom breather? You know what I mean? It's like there's something about sitting in a place and you're at a you're there's something relieving and seeing from a perspective that you an untraditional perspective. I'm not saying like you shouldn't sit on your kitchen floor or your bathroom floor, but it's like those are two places like you don't really um, see a lot of activity that's not on the feet. You know, you might other than your dog. My dog lays in the kitchen floor and loves the bathroom floor because it's cool on her belly. But and she's sweet. Um, but Pearl Squirrel, shout out to Pearl Squirrel, Squirrel Bird, Squirrel Pearl, the Squirrel Bird. Yo yo yo. Um, she's beautiful, and she just turned 1 on December 19th. So big shout out to her. But anyways, yeah, nothing really soothes the blues like sitting where you shouldn't, such as the kitchen floor or on the bathroom floor, or like I feel like everybody has at least like one chair in their house that it's like you never sit in. It's just like you're like, oh, that's a nice chair, and it was intention. It was you got it with the intention of sitting in it, but it just sits in the corner. It's like kind of like a cuck chair without the cuck. It's the chair itself. The cuck chair itself is the cuck. It's just sitting there, just seeing all the pleasures of your life in every other chair of your living room or your bedroom or something. But what I'm saying is, there's nothing like changing a perspective um, to soothe your anger. I get so flustered sometimes, and I get very anxious, usually because of my own doing. But I get really anxious, and I realized this the other day. I just instinctually, I just kind of like slid down. You know, like when you're just like fuck, and I just slid down the fucking kitchen counter on my back, kind of like slithered like a little. I don't want to say a slithery snake, but I just kind of slid down and I just sat there, man. And it's like for some reason you can breathe better down there. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like it's almost like time doesn't exist on the kitchen floor. You slide down there and you breathe better. The atmosphere is just it's amicable. I don't know how to explain it. It's a you just feel good down there. You feel like you're just like taking you step into like a another realm. You're like a it's just it's like that it's almost like you whenever you do the parachute thing in school, and it's like a whole other world in there. I don't know if anybody ever thought about that, but it's like when you do the gym class thing when you're in grade school where you all throw the fucking parachute into the air and then you slip it around you everybody and then you sit on it and you're all in this little time stops. Time stops under that parachute. That's the kitchen floor for me. That's the bathroom floor for me. It's just a pause in reality. I don't know, man. It is what it is, you know. But it's also I feel like um you're down there and you're able to just contemplate anything and everything. You're able to think about I feel like the world's up here and you come down right below it and you just are able to actually perceive it and observe it and look up at it rather than being in it. And it's the perfect place for you to sit down calmly and contemplate designer children, CRISPR children, silicon children, and the comically redacted Epstein files. I think that's kind of a funny thing that you can probably think about while you're down there. I don't know if that angers you enough to take a bathroom floor breather and think about redacted fucking pedo files and yeah, like the low and fucking being able to like genetically edit children. I think that's kind of a wild concept. I mean, I know that's been a common thing, and I'm kind of a little behind on it, but it's like, what the fuck? You're gonna make children with perfect blue eyes and blonde hair and like, can you edit a mustache on them? Can you like a designer children is just kind of like a genetic woolly willy, and you can just kind of like go in the little egg and you can just move the little fucking magnet pieces around and make him like you could, oh, I'm gonna put his hair down here and so this kid's gonna come out with a full beard and a mustache. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I don't know. I mean, I guess there is an upside to designer children, though. I feel like I'm gonna instead of eyeballs, I want him to have rhinestones, or I want no, 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 no. I want him to have button eyes, and he's just Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is in public domain. But no, the upside to designer children, I feel like, is the fact that you can edit their susceptibility to disease. Like, if we can, like, fucking scoop right in there and just carve up these kids to make them not ever have AIDS, that's cool. We can eradicate AIDS. We can eradicate AIDS. We can eradicate Hep C. We can eradicate age, hopefully, soon. That'd be kind of, well, you have to grow up a little bit. See, that's a crazy concept. So if we cure age, we can't have children anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's like whoever's on Earth is on Earth. So we can't. You cure age, you're already alive. It's like an adult is the only person with the mental capacity to actually do the research into creating creating a drug or a medication or a procedure that can cure age. Not AIDS, age. We're on age now, not AIDS. But if you cure age, what the you can't have children. If you did have children, say okay, does the same concept apply to whenever you cure, say you go in and you genetically alter a child so that he can't ever get AIDS or can't ever get Hep C or something like that. And then evolutionarily their offspring and their offspring slowly you kind of phase out the ability or the susceptibility to these diseases in general, so they don't exist anymore. You just completely wipe a disease off of the face of the earth. So what am I trying to get at here? So if you did have, what if you could still have children, but since age has been cured, well, they'd still have to age in the womb. Like, what I mean by that is, like, you'd have to... Okay, I'll explain what my thought process was. My thought process was if you cure age over a certain evolutionary span of time, and then you could still have children, but the child would come out of the womb and just be a baby, useless little helpless baby forever. That's kind of weird. That would be kind of pointless. So we just have a bunch of useless little babies that we're just like enslaved by because we have to feed them and nurture them forever. I mean, I guess if you want to be a mom to a baby, it's like something like keeping a puppy forever. I don't know if that, you always hear those moms where it's like, I wish you could be a baby forever. I don't think you want that. I don't think you actually want that. Do you really want your kid to be a baby forever? I feel like after a while, you'd either A, you'd get used to it and then be fine, but B, you would get sick of the milks run dry. Okay? The milks run dry, and you're going to get tired of it. I feel like. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but that's how I feel about it. But that's what I'm trying. I guess if age was cured, you either couldn't have children anymore, or you. Wow, man. So you got the little seed in there. It would never. It still ages technically from 0 to 9 months before the baby actually comes out. It's still aging, so it would just be. It would just no. You couldn't produce sperm anymore. I mean, you could produce sperm, but then they would just be sperm cells. They would just stay cells their whole life. They wouldn't age. Think about it, America. That's that's kind of a that's kind of crazy, actually. Now that I think about it, I lost my train of thought though. But no, something that's super fucking weird about the fucking Epstein files, though. I'll be completely honest with you, is the fucking Lolita fucking references in that in the files that you could actually read or see the photos. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of a crazy concept because I never knew of this book, Lolita, right? Until it's weird how like synchronicities work. And there's this episode is full of synchronicities. Like, and by that I mean like something that I've like thought about and then it just starts popping up. I'm pretty sure Google and Alexa or whoever the fuck, Chat GPT, is in our brains now to some degree. I don't think it's just purely on surface level. I think they're in our brains right now. But what I'm getting at is I was watching a YouTube video about banned books, and there was a list of The Invisible Man, which is not The Invisible Man that the H.G. Wells one. It's by a different guy, and it's about the black experience, the African American experience, and there's several other books about that were banned that people, they're not taught in schools, so you can't find them in libraries anymore. You have to kind of like dig around for them and kind of find them. But there was one that was called Lolita, which, if you even see the cover, the original cover of it, fuck that garbage. Okay? That was the most disgusting concept for a book. It's basically a love story between a man, a grown adult man, and a child, which, if you're any sort of level-headed, you'll obviously that's fucked up. But it was I seen it on this banned book and I was like, that's fucking disgusting. And then like 2 weeks later, the Epstein files came out, and it was just riddled with Lolita references, and I'm like, and I know this is a long shot to say, but if we didn't, and it's obvious, it's the most obvious thing on the face of the earth that Epstein was a child sex trafficker, but if it wasn't obvious enough by those photos, let's be real, everybody, it's fucked up. It's if you have a Chomo book referenced in Chomo photos, surefire. I'll say that. But that also got me thinking. I seen a video the other day, and it was about what was it? It was about, have you seen Ariana Grande and Miley Cyrus lately? Because what started with it was everyone's taking like Ozempic and stuff like that. I feel like Ozempic is a just everywhere now. Ozempic is omnipotent. It permeates through every facet of the universe now, and is just sucking the life force out of everybody. But I don't think that, that's just, I'm just spouting off bullshit. I don't know what I just said. I'm going to be honest. I already forgot. Um, but it was a picture of Miley Cyrus and Ariana Grande, just to name a couple of them. There was a few of them, and how they look now. They're all like fucking, you know, what is it? They're just they're just like, they're like sharp chinned and fucking shriveled skinned, and it just seems, they just seem really weird. They're almost alien like. It's kind of wild. Um, I Side note, Miley Cyrus, you need to come back. You need to bring the mullet back. That was my, honestly, my favorite Miley Cyrus era was the mullet. The Joe Rogan Miley Cyrus episode. The Joe Rogan era of Miley Cyrus was my favorite, with the really raspy voice and the dirty voice with the dirty mullet. Beautiful. Never been more attractive in her entire life, in my opinion. Okay, shoot me, but um, no, but it's just kind of weird, because my theory behind that is, it's like, now they're all shriveling up. What do they have in common? They were both perfect singing, dancing, acting, triple threat test tube Disney Nickelodeon babies that were created in a lab. That's a joke. Okay, everybody. It was an ongoing joke, and with, I believe, the Onion News Network a long time ago. But as far as the joke goes, they were perfect singing, dancing, acting triple threat test tube babies that were invented just to be on the Disney Channel and be on Nickelodeon. They just, they're just perfect people. But after a while, I kind of feel like the scientists that invented them are now, they are back to harvest. They're sucking the life force out of them or something like that. I don't know. Wouldn't that be kind of crazy? If they're just now, they're almost like live. They were life force livestock. They invented these perfectly talented children, but now they're coming back to suck them bone dry of their life, um, or some shit. I don't know, fucking. But the Miley Cyrus thing, crazy thing, and Michelle was telling me the other day that I guess some lady was now suing the Cyrus family because she believes to have actually been the true sleeper cell mother of Miley Cyrus, and that she actually is suing them because she gave her up for adoption as a baby, and the actual Cyrus family, they oh, what was it, they sorry, excuse me. Sorry. But she's suing the Cyrus family because she is allegedly the true sleeper cell mother of Miley Cyrus, and that she actually gave her up for adoption under the guise of under the agreement that she would remain her nanny and piano teacher for the remainder of her adolescence. And but the funny thing is one reason I call her a sleeper cell mother is because apparently she just recently um, recollected all of this whole situation, I guess, all of these happenings. So, like, it's just kind of funny. It's like, did the scientists that invented her, that are now stealing her life force, do they have some sort of sleeper cell handler that they just triggered? I don't know. The trigger word is Ozempic, but no, that was. I don't know why I'm on the Ozempic thing. I feel there's people out there that genuinely deserve and need Ozempic, but and I don't. I'm not even. And I just want to be clear. I'm not saying that Ariana Grande and Miley Cyrus are on Ozempic. That was just. It's just a funny thing I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of shit. Okay. I enjoy bullshitting. This whole thing is very therapeutic for me. I'm talking to a camera in my basement, as I've said 3 or 4 times before, and it's incredibly therapeutic. I'm getting so much off my chest. Just the fact that I feel, even though there's people out there that'll probably watch this or listen to it, I'm just saying bullshit and it's fun. It's fun to just explore random thoughts and conspiracies and faulty connections or that I have with reality. So I'm uh, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I just wanted to express that to everybody. But you know, I just what am I trying to say here? There's ooh, I forgot about this. Holy shit! Yeah, guys. But after I think we're going to take a little short break here, but when we come back, I'm going to talk about aliens, time travel, time traveling aliens, reincarnation, and a Macaulay Culkin Home Alone conspiracy. Hence the foreground 5 movie collection Home Alone, because I watched those. But um, before we get to that, here is a short list of long forgotten childhood candies. And we're back, everybody. Holy shit, I just clipped the mic, I think. But we are back, and I hope you enjoyed that short. I hope you enjoyed that short list of long forgotten childhood candies. I do enjoy me a good Junior Mint. But my mom used to pack Junior Mints in my lunch pail every time I went on a field trip in grade school. So they have a very special place in my heart. But we are back, and guys, Christmas time has come and passed, and the holidays are nothing without a good holiday movie. All right, so you got Home Alone. We watched the first 2 Home Alone movies. Home Alone 3 is good, but we just watched the Macaulay Culkin ones, and we watched, what was it, the Disney Channel original movie "Twas the Night" with Bryan Cranston, which is a kind of a deep cut. But if you were a Disney Channel viewer as a child, that one came out whenever I was like 10 or 11, and probably even younger than that. It's a good movie. I enjoy it. It's silly, but it's a Disney Channel original movie. What do you expect? They're low budget and just silly. But we also watched Santa Claus 1 and 2 with Tim Allen, which, not gonna lie, I think that Santa Claus 1 is the perfect Christmas movie. I don't know why. It's great, but other than like the Santa Claus just fucking falling off the roof and out of fear, and then just smacking into the ground and dying, and then just his body disappears. He's just like what is that movie where it's just clothes? Well, like War of the Worlds. He just got War of the Worlded. I mean, without the aliens, I guess. When they get zapped and all the clothes fall out of the sky, that was fucking crazy. Okay, they're just vaporized. The Tom Cruise one. I actually have not seen the original or read the book. I'm a big H.G. Wells fan. I feel like that is kind of blasphemous for me to have not ever read like the quintessential H.G. Wells book, but it is what it is. You can't win them all right, everybody. But Home Alone 1 and 2 brings me to something that I mentioned before the break, and that I have a wild Home Alone Macaulay Culkin conspiracy theory that I think you would all enjoy exploring with me. Um, but it starts with a question, okay? And the question um, is: Is Macaulay Culkin the same character in every movie that he plays in? So let me repeat that. Is Macaulay Culkin playing the same character in every movie that he's in? What character, you ask? None other than Macaulay Culkin's character from The Good Son. If you're unaware of what The Good Son is, The Good Son is a movie about, I believe it's Elijah Wood, and they're both little itsy bitsy little teeny weeny little children, little kitty boys, and they, sorry, I keep burping and coughing, and my throat's getting dry. I didn't bring any water down here. I just brought espresso. But Elijah Wood is, I believe, the stepson of the new stepson of Macaulay Culkin's mom, right? And so everything is seemingly okay and seemingly jolly, right? In The Good Son, but then he starts exhibiting psychopathic behavior. Um, like almost like the famous scene where he's Elijah Wood is falling out of the fucking falling out of the treehouse because he pushes him or something. I can't remember the specifics. It's been a good minute since I've watched The Good Son, but I definitely remember the plot and everything like that. And it's so funny to see this little Macaulay Culkin, and he grabs his hand and he just says, "Don't fuck with me." And that's just the silliest thing in the world. I love it. It's great. But he starts exhibiting psychopathic behavior, like he's trying to kill Elijah Wood because he is. What is the Good Son describing? Is it describing in a satirical or what's that word I'm looking for? Um, is it sarcastically describing Macaulay Culkin's character, or is it talking about Elijah Wood, who's the good son? I'm pretty sure Macaulay Culkin eats shit at the end in like a die time kind of way. He fucking eats shit and dies, is what I'm trying to say. Um, and Elijah Wood lives on, and he might just be he just might legitimately be the good son. And then he goes on to become Frodo, and he gets the ring, and he gets. But that's a whole other story. I don't believe that Elijah Wood is the same character in every movie. This is about Macaulay Culkin, all right. But let's explore Home Alone 1 and 2, right? It started with these funny. It started with the innocent joke about a seemingly innocent kid, and I was joking around with Nichelle, and I was like, so this kid is in two separate movies. He's forgotten by his family twice, meaning he obviously isn't that important, and he is just fucking up these criminals, right? Is he it was obviously a joke. There's literally no merit to it. But it was me, and I was talking about how what if he was actually hard candying hard candying their asses, meaning if you ever see the movie Hard Candy with then Ellen Page, now Elliot Page, but I just wanted to specify the eras of time, so I'm not dead naming or anything. I'm just saying he was Ellen Page at the time of this movie. But she then was playing a character where basically she was setting up pedophiles to kill them. But she was basically she was posing as a child, but to take like photos or something with Patrick Wilson, which is the worst Patrick Wilson role ever. It's like, if you ever see a movie where it just ruins somebody's like image, it's like he's fucking Ed Warren from the Conjuring series, and he's in Insidious. He's like the paranormal king. He's like the ghosty king, but then you see him and he's just a massive pedophile that you don't know if he's actually guilty until the very end. But there you have it. I spoiled it for you, but it's just one of those roles of Patrick Wilson's where you're like, fuck, dude, you suck. Not your role. You're good at playing the role, and you as a human being and an actor are probably a swell person, but that role just is sour. I don't like it. But I was joking around about how, like, what if Macaulay Culkin was hard candying these people's asses and luring them just to fuck them up, and then I was like, whoa. So it made me think about, is Macaulay Culkin was obviously has no issue hurting people. He's setting up all these traps that are very much intended to hurt and discourage people, these criminals, to leave him alone, right? But it seems like he actually finds an immense amount of joy in doing so. And so I was thinking about this, and it was like you think about how so he like I said, the kid from The Good Son, right? He's a psychopath, right? And then in Home Alone, he's kind of like a low-key psychopath. He's hurting people. He's enjoying it. He's doing all these things, but he seems socially detached from his siblings and from everybody else. It's like I said, they don't really. It just doesn't seem like they care about him at all, except when it comes to his mother. I think there's a little bit of an Oedipus type of vibe to him and his mom's relationship. It's like he just doesn't seem to really give a shit about the 20 other kids in their family. Who has so many kids they forget a kid in New York? What do you do? What kind of parent are you if you're leaving the state or the country, especially during Christmas, during the holidays, where it's literally debatably about being with your family and enjoying the time and time off from real life and just enjoying life with your family, or enjoying you know what I'm getting at. It's for some reason I might be a psychopath. I don't fucking know. I don't even know how to describe how the true meaning of Christmas, but but no, but he just seems very socially detached, and he finds solace in like pigeon ladies and stuff like that, and like he's just not afraid. He's seemingly emotionless. Like he's almost like a narcissistic in a way in Home Alone, and it's like he's always forgotten, and it seemed like if we're at the very end, after they actually get to New York and they find him and they're in like the big motel room with all the presents, because he sends the note to the toy guy, the fucking manager of the toy place, and then the guys, they're like, oh no, there's not going to be any Christmas, but then they wake up and it's just full of toys because the guy from the toy shop got his message or his letter that was on the brick that he threw through the window to catch the criminals, and then sent them a bunch of toys so that they could enjoy Christmas in New York because they got snowed in there or whatever and what have you. And so, but then after that, after they're opening presents, they're in like peak family time where everybody should be thought of and accounted for and enjoying their time. And what does he do? He sneaks out. They forgot about him a third time. They didn't even notice this little squirrely psychopath that's sneaking out during Christmas. You're opening presents. That's, for a kid, that's like the coup de grace. That's like it. That's the time. You know what I mean? And you know, it's like, what happens if they get a present that has his name on it and like he's just not there? They didn't even notice that. They're not even giving him presents. And he's the one that got him all the presents. Maybe his family are the psychopaths. Who's who? Who's the psychopath in these situations? But he sneaks out and he goes to the pigeon lady. It's a different kind of bird. it would be kind of weirder if it was a crow lady. That'd be kind of interesting. But she'd have all these just smart birds, not these like honing. Well, I guess pigeons can hone and take shit to other people, like little notes, little ankle notes. But he sneaks out to go give her the turtle dove or whatever, and it's just it just seems like nobody knows that he's gone. He's able to sneak around like Dexter, fly under the radar, and nobody notices him. I think honestly, you think about like the killer, you always, the most unsuspecting people are the psychopath killers. It's like, he hasn't killed anybody, but he's exhibiting some behavior that he might just end up there, I think. But, I don't know. That was something I thought about. I was like, maybe he's the kid maybe he's just, it's also like Richie Rich. Wasn't he Richie Rich? It's like, why is he playing all these little psychopath kids that just don't know, they're so detached from reality? I don't know. It's just weird. I don't like it. Macaulay Culkin, what's your deal? I mean, not so much anymore. I don't know. Well, no, he was just in Fallout, and he was part of Caesar's Legion. He might still be the good son, just all big and grown up. All growed up. The good son, all growed up. Just rug. Anyways, that was stupid. But, speaking of mothers, we were talking about seemingly emotionless unless he has feelings for his mother or whatever, Macaulay Culkin, which is fucked up. But speaking of mothers, there was a Joe Rogan episode with Michael P. Masters. He was discussing the possibility that aliens and all these UAPs and UFOs, or whatever the fuck you're going to call them, FBIs and CIAs, BLTs and UTIs. I don't fucking know what the fuck we're talking about anymore. Acronyms. 3-letter words. But all these aliens that we're seeing are actually human beings from the future. And they're basically coming back in time to be like, hey, quit fucking nuking each other. And like, we're just kind of like, whatever. They're here, and they've been here because we're here. And they're coming back in time with their fancy machinery and gravitational propulsion systems and whatnot. And but he was talking about Joe. He asked Joe Rogan about his this dream that he had, because I guess Joe Rogan had a dream where he got abducted, right? And this ties into my last episode. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, synchronicities earlier. So I have these weird synchronicities where I have this thought and then it just happens because Google's in our brain, and pulling strings and being a puppeteer with our likes and interests and thoughts. But he was basically talking about how he got abducted in his dream, and then on my last episode that I filmed by myself, not the last episode of Art of the Jam, but my last solo episode, I was talking about how consciousness and dreams and ghosts and demons and aliens and even Bigfoot, if that's the way you want to, you got to include Bigfoot. You just got to. But it's beside the point. I don't want to repeat myself too much of what I said on the last episode. But all of these beings or entities or whatever and what have you exist in your subconscious. And that's a place that we're sent pieces of art. We're sent messages from God. This is where we dream. This is where we create. This is where everything comes from. We're able to tap into. But after I filmed that episode, I was watching this episode, and then Joe Rogan was talking about his dream where he got abducted, and then Michael P. Masters was talking about an experience that he had where he was hypnotized into some sort of weird situation where it was almost like they commandeered his mind in a way. But then he goes on to talk about how like aliens might have the ability to abduct you through your dreams because they know that is a very fragile fragile state of being and consciousness, and that you won't always forget, or you won't always remember. You won't always remember what happened, and so that's why when people have abduction experiences, they're very fuzzy, and that's why dreams. You have a dream, and it's like for the first like 2 minutes you're awake, you remember it, but then after that, it's just out the window. Same with like trips and things like that, psychedelic experiences and whatnot. But when I'm talking about mothers, or that's what I was getting at. That was my hard segue. But what I'm trying to get at here. What I'm trying to get out here is mothers. It's I had this. So Joe Rogan was talking about a dream, right? And this dream was about him getting abducted, and so that made me think. It's like, well, that kind of solidifies my thought in a way, or not solidifies, but it gives a little bit more merit to this thought I was exploring about how aliens might be able to, or aliens might exist in subconscious along with other beings like ghosts and demons and everything. If aliens are able to abduct you in your dreams, then maybe that's how they travel, that's where they live. Maybe we're actually catalysts to another dimension, and we're actually able to tap into that in some degree. We just don't know how to control it, unless you're like some sort of Tibetan monk that can just meditate for 20 hours straight and just be like, I'm in my dreams now. I'm part of, this is where I live, and whatever, and just decide my death. I'm ready to check out. But it just kind of brought me to another concept, because it was talking about how dreams and aliens and time travel, and then this is the other synchronicity that I had, is a while back, in a while back I mean like years ago, I woke up and I had a dream myself, right? And it was a dream about time travel. Okay, let me figure something out real quick. Check 1 2. Sorry, guys. Check 1 2. Guys, but I had a dream myself, right? And so in this dream, it was a time travel dream that, damn, dude. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to cut this. Please stand by. Anyways, guys, we're going to roll with it. Who gives a fuck? We're a little fuzzy, but it's all right. But I had a dream myself, and that it was a time travel dream, and I had this dream that that mothers were actually, how do I explain this? So, mothers, this is very, okay, so, in my dream, it was revealed to me just how dream logic works, is just things are thought of and things happen. You don't actually get an explanation. They just pop into your head. But my dream was about how it was revealed to me through dream logic that mothers were actually biological time machines. And not only were we able to time travel, but we are actually being reincarnated. I apologize. We are actually being reincarnated through time and birthed, basically, through mothers. So time travel is being reincarnated into a new womb. And basically, what was weird is like, if mothers, it didn't really give me any information, the dream itself. It was basically like women and mothers are biological time machines, and that whenever you actually are like, I'm going to travel through time, like I got to go back to 1955 and blah, 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 you're actually traveling not through time exclusively, but through different lives and through different dimensions as different people. And so you actually are being birthed. Time travel is reincarnating into a new womb, and the weirdest thing about it is I don't know why my dream decided to like tell me this particular detail, but it was basically explaining to me that afterbirth is like a temporal goo, like primordial. It is a primordial ooze, I guess, if you want to get fucking graphic about it and weird. But it was basically saying that in the dream that you're basically reincarnated through time and life into a new mother, into a new womb, and that you come out and you're just covered in fucking temporal goo. That's interesting. I don't have. It was just a wild thought. But what I'm getting at is the synchronicity between the two. Is that would the synchronicity was the next day my buddy called me, and my buddy, sorry, my buddy called me, and I started telling him about this dream. And he was like, "That sounds like this book or this short story that I just read." And it's the story of, it's called The Egg by Andy Weir. Andy Weir also wrote The Martian, which I believe was adapted into a movie starring Matt Damon. So if you know of that movie, that was also Andy Weir. But The Egg is basically this story about how this man dies in a car crash and he meets God, and God reveals to him that everybody is everybody and will be everybody continuously forever until they've been everybody. And then once you've lived every life on earth in every regard, you've been black, you've been white, you've been a woman, you've been in the Stone Age, you've been at the beginning of human existence, you've been a Neanderthal, you've been um, you've been a human living at the last generation on earth before it dies. You've been literally everybody everywhere in every time. Then you become God yourself, or become a god. And that's what gods are people that have lived every facet of life. And that kind of made me think of it just really, it kind of really drove that dream home, I think, because that dream, um, it's kind of the same way. It's like, what if say I'm a war general in the 1920s or something, and I die in battle. I've lived that life as far as it'll go. I've been that person, but now I'm going to die, and my spirit will actually be reborn into, I guess if you want to say, reincarnated into a new womb in a different time. So it's like you're a war general in the 1920s and you die and you're rebirthed as at like modern day. It's like you're just fucking, you're born as like Pharrell in 2010 or something, or you die as Pharrell dies, and you're just like, I don't know, you're the fucking Jesus Christ or something, or you a wise man or something. I don't know. You die and you become everybody in every time, everywhere, like everything. You're everybody, and you've experienced every walk of life. Basically, he's explaining that the universe is the cosmic egg for man to hatch from. So when you've become everybody and everything, you hatch from the egg and become God. And so you've transcended the universe and whatever. And you basically, it's like a video game. You just complete the human experience. But it's kind of it's fucking kind of crazy. But I had this is what I'll leave you guys with today. After all of this shit, besides the egg and aliens and all this bullshit, I had another thought, and I haven't quite explored this one, so I'll revisit it in the next episode, I think. But my question for you is, and like I said, I'll leave you with this: if aliens are us from the future, we are human, but we are aliens. So, we're aliens, as we are right now. I'm an alien, you're an alien, we're just here. And they're trying to get us to quit nuking shit and blowing each other up and fighting and scrounging around and fucking doing whatever. Bad stuff. They're trying to get us to stop doing bad stuff to each other because we're ruining the planet. If, given that aliens have a little bit of respect for another for a planet, what if God, if aliens are us from the future, that means we are aliens of the present and past of their past. And if we are aliens and they're aliens, are we the aliens on this planet? Meaning, is this the animals? Is this nature's planet? And because we just seem to just be ruining it. We're cutting all the trees down. We're sucking all the fucking lifeblood out of the earth, aka oil. We're fighting over it because we can't seem to live without it. I mean, I don't have any opinion over that. I mean, I'd feel like we should find something that's we're not going to fight over that's maybe a little more renewable and good for the earth. But I'm neither here nor there. I don't have any educated opinion about it because I am just a mere human in his basement talking to a fucking iPhone. So what I'm getting at are, if aliens are us from the future and we're aliens of the past, and if aliens are us from the future and we are also aliens of the present and of the future aliens past, and all we're doing is ruining the planet, and they're trying to get us to be more respectful for it because we're trying to respect nature. Is this not even our planet? Did we come from somewhere else? That's very hard to get out, okay? I feel like we're just here and we're just disrupting somebody else's planet. It's like going into somebody's house and just breaking their shit. I feel like it's like, just take your fucking shoes off. Okay? And just be kind. Don't touch shit. Just fucking be respectful. I don't know. But anyways, guys, I feel like that's a good place to stop, okay? I've been ranting on and raving for probably at least an hour here, according to my trusty hourglass. And I'm starting to get real sick and tired of this fuzziness that's coming through this camera, or from this microphone. I have not been able to figure out what the problem is. I think it might be an XLR cable, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to chug my espresso, and I'm going to recite the mantra of the show before I let you guys go. So, we are going to live with cause and leave results to the great law of the universe. We are going to pass each and every day in peaceful contemplation, patient and all the while remaining present in our lives. That being said, without further ado, I have brought to you Art of the Jam. So you know what that means, guys. Well, after this episode, why don't you go outside and touch a tree and touch some grass and kiss your dog and pet your wife and do all that sort of fun stuff. And maybe, you know what? Fucking stop fucking shit up, all right? Just be cool, all right? And I'm going to play you guys off, all right? So have a good one, guys. Stay funky, stay groovy, do all those fun stuff. Enjoy the show. Subscribe if you feel so inclined. Tell your friends about the show. I really appreciate you listening. I know it's a lot, and I know I'm saying a lot of bullshit, but we're fucking... What else you got in this world? What else you got? You don't got much. If you take... It's the most liberating and fucking freeing thing to just sit here and talk bullshit, okay? So, guys, without further ado, talking bullshit in my basement on my toy piano. Toy piano. Macaulay Culkin is Chocolate guts on in every movie. I think that's all I got. Primordial goo. Born into a new world. Primordial goo. Born into a new world. Macaulay Culkin plays the same role in every movie. Bop, 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 beep, 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 boop, 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 boop. A bunch of candy you haven't had in years. I love Diamond Tap. Sweet grapey flavor makes me sleepy. My mom gave me Diamond Tap to make me go to sleep, and I didn't know until I was an adult that Diamond Tap was actually cough medicine, cold medicine. Yeah, cough medicine. That's probably why I had issues with Robitussin as a teenager. That's probably why I had problems with drugs growing up. We're all drug addicts doing drugs. This went south. And that's the end of Art of the Jam. Goodbye, everyone.